And welcome back to ASU TV tonight. I am now joined by Jacob Osborn. Jacob, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good today.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that. Now, not only is Jacob an amazing and fantastic member of the ASU TV staff, he is also a talented short film director.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for being on the show, Mr. Talented Short Film Director.
Of course. Being in front of the camera is not something I do very often, but it's always a interesting experience whenever I'm in front of it rather than behind.
Well, that's what you're doing right now. And now
That's what we're doing.
I'm going to ask you, can you give me a little synopsis of your upcoming short film, Smiling Friends?
My upcoming short film, Smiling Faces.
Smiling
Friends
Faces.
is
That's right. Yeah.
animated TV show. But Smiling Faces focuses on a character named Nick, and he deals with sleep paralysis just about every single night, and it kind of shows what he deals with at nighttime through those dreams and how it affects his daytime waking activities.
Great.
So it's kind of like a mix between a horror and a drama.
Interesting. Cool. Because I know you've told me before, like, this is kind of a little bit of a depart from, because I know you've made a lot of horror films in your time. I think they've been very fun, very good. But what kind of inspired you to kind of just try to tend towards more the drama side of this than the
Honestly, just growing as a filmmaker, I feel like. My last film, Murder in the Dark, I really enjoyed the drama between the characters, like different views kind of clashing and stuff like that. And also just horror by itself kind of bores me at this point because you kind of know what's going to happen. And so going forward with this short film, I knew I wanted to release something this October. I was like, I could do a horror short film. And I was like, okay, I'll do a horror short film. But I wanted it to be different than stuff I'd done in the past. So I really tried to hone in on like the drama element, having that daytime stuff rather than just the nightmares that he has at nighttime.
Cool. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about, like, were there any sort of, what influenced you to, like, make this? Were there any, like, I don't know, anything from your personal life that, like, kind of shows up in the story here, or what?
Yeah, well, my whole life I've dealt with sleep paralysis and nightmares. It kind of stinks, but if I have a dream, it's typically not very good.
Oh.
So I think a big part about filmmaking and stories that people don't always understand is you should pull from personal experiences because they feel more genuine.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking about what I should make for a short film, and I was like, you know what? I deal with nightmares. Let me try and convey that in a short film format. And so the nightmare part of it is very me, but the rest of it is my friend Nathan, who played the main character, Nick.
Gotcha. Is it like Nathan's personal experiences or just like...
He pulls from his own personal
cool.
experience, so we kind of worked together as we were writing it. I kind of gave him freedom with the character a little bit. I was like, pull from your own experiences. I gave him some questions to write down about like the character's past and stuff like that, and we made a really cool character.
Man, this is going to be exciting to see. I know, I remember like a few weeks ago, you were like, yeah, I'm going to drive to Searcy. I'm going to drive to Cabot. I'm going to be up till 3 a.m. or something like that. So like, who all did you make this film with? Was it just you and Nick, or like who?
So for the most part, it was just me behind the camera. I was always running the camera, directing. Nathan was playing Nick. Then I filmed at my friend's apartment. They would help hold lights, do some stuff with some balloons in there. And then my friend Jordan, who has helped me since my first project in high school, he came to set a couple times, just was kind of a production assistant on there. But overall, it was a very small production that was mostly just me a lot of times, which created some challenges. Yeah. But we worked past them.
Interesting. That's really neat. It's cool that, you're able to make a movie, by yourself sometimes and things like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having access to a larger crew, though, because it can be a lot.
I definitely get that. So were there any, like, especially just being just you a lot of the time, were there any, like, production challenges you ran into?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I'll just start off with this one story. We were filming in Judsonia, Arkansas. There's this old wooden bridge.
Judsonia?
It is close to Searcy.
Okay, cool.
So we were filming just me and Nathan. So there was just me on the camera and just him in the scene. And it was pouring down rain. And I had to drive a car in that scene, so I couldn't run the camera. So we had to set up my tripod, hook a umbrella to the top of it to cover my camera because we didn't have anything else to cover it. Set my camera down, and then I drive my car across this bridge, turn around, and come back while he's like acting in this scene. And just the rain made it so much harder.
Yeah.
But it honestly looks really good, so I wasn't upset about it.
Nice. So was the rain intentional, or like was this just a?
We were planning on filming that night, forgot to look at the weather, and we were on such a time crunch with this short film. That was another big problem that we were like, we got to do it. Because Nathan currently right now is traveling across the country on a solo trip right now.
Bro,
so we were like, we have to get this done before he leaves, and like he had stuff he has to do before he left, like a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
And we wanted to film it during the summer, but it wasn't ready by then. It wouldn't have been as good by then. And so we had to start it whenever I got into this year of school. And so I would have to drive from Jonesboro to Searcy some nights, to Cabot some nights, and Nathan would have to drive up to here from Cabot to Jonesboro after getting off work at 9 o'clock at night. And so a lot of nights we were filming until 3 to 5 in the morning, and it was a lot, and we filmed it in a 1 week time span.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the least amount of sleep that I've gotten in a week. But, you know, it honestly helped us get into the mindset of the character, like in like the vibe we were going for. Because, you know, he's exhausted from having these nightmares all the time. So it really helped us kind of feel what he was going through.
Nice. Well, that's actually going to be a big theme of one of the short films that I think we're going to be working on at some point is sleepiness. So maybe I'll just force you to not sleep too, and we can all get into the spirit there. Speaking of sleep and dreams and all those things, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have any interesting dreams you want to share with the audience?
Interesting dreams.
Yeah, I know. Was there any dream that like particularly inspired the movie?
It's not this one's not a dream. This is more me being half awake. But it is something that made it into the film. Okay. When I was super young, I had this. It was a bunk bed without the bottom bunk. So like I had a TV and stuff under there. Yeah. But I was sleeping and I was like half awake as my blanket is falling off the end of my bed because I guess I'd kicked it. Yeah. But my mind at the time, being a child, was thinking someone is dragging this blanket off of my bed. And so that scared me as a kid. And there is a scene. It's the very first scene actually in the short film where that happens. So
that's cool. That's really neat. I like that. See, I've been having these like Inception kind of dreams lately. Like have you ever seen the movie Inception?
Oh yeah.
You know, where like it's a dream within a dream within a dream. I feel like I've been having that lately, which I didn't even know that was possible. But it's like I'll wake up from a dream.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in a dream, and I've
had that happen before. It's weird.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening. It's also like because you're in that weird dream state, you know, where it's like okay, like you can also just like kind of transport random places in your dreams. It's
but
just
it like makes sense to your
dream. Yeah. So I don't know what is going on there.
That was a problem I also kind of had making this short film is how to exactly show what a dream feels like. Yeah. Because, you know, they're so kind of like loopy and weird, and especially with sleep paralysis. Like for me personally, like it feels like I'm glued down and like half awake, half asleep. And so like really trying to figure out how to show that was difficult. Yeah. But I think we got something sick.
Can you tell me like how did you go about trying that? Like what was...
Well, a lot of it came from Nathan's acting.
Okay.
We just made sure he was planted as much on the bed as he could. Like he's breathing heavy, but he can't move. And then in post, what I did, which I didn't even originally plan on this, I was just messing around on my editing software. And I found this effect called zoom blur, where everything is blurred except for the center of focus that you choose. Okay. And so whenever Nick is in these dreams, I put the focus on him, but everything around him is like super blurry. And with the colors and stuff, it looks really cool.
Dude, yeah, that's going to be cool. And I know anytime Jacob Osborn gets a hold of some colors, he can do some fun stuff
like that. I do
like
some colors in film.
Colors. Color grading is so neat. I wish I knew more about it. It's cool stuff. Well, let me see here. I'm going to... But yeah. Oh, so I got a question for you about your premiere of the movie, right? It's happening at the Circe Rialto Theater. Is that correct? So when is that going to be?
October 11th and 12th. Doors open at 9 o'clock. The short Smiling Faces will start at 9:20. And my past film I made, Murder in the Dark, will have its official re-release immediately after Smiling Faces.
That's
ends.
really neat. That's super cool. I got to go see that last year at the Circe Rialto Theater. It was a good time. Fun times. So
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and actually, I saw the Circe Rialto is doing they're having a film festival this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually have not seen that. So
I was just on
news to
Film
me.
Freeway this morning, and I just saw it, and I was like, wow.
I have to look into that.
Yeah, you should submit your film. We're going to try to put Monstrosity in there and do some fun stuff there. But that is it for this episode of ASU TV tonight. I just want to thank y'all all for watching. Please make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and leave a comment with anything that you feel like saying. But thank you, Jacob, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And I don't know what you say at the end of a nighttime show. Maybe have some good dreams. Don't have sleep paralysis, because that'd be sad. Good night.
Sleep tight.